Hi guys, I'm not Stephen Nolan's biggest fan. He hosts all sorts of extremists on his show for shock value and has been criticised in the past for using the political divide in Northern Ireland as a tool to drive ratings for his shows. So a question we don't hear very much or at all in England is, why are there no riots taking place in Scotland or in Wales? If, according to right-wing commentators and politicians, the driving force behind the unrest is the concern the impact of immigration is having on, say, the NHS, housing and public services, then why is it limited to just England and Great Britain? Stephen asks a similar question about Northern Ireland.
How come, Allison, if there's an iota of legitimate concern, which there is around immigration, right? There's more than an iota. There's legitimate concern around immigration throughout the UK. Of course there is. But how come there is no rioting in nationalist areas at all? How come? Is this about the influencers in the nationalist communities having a grip and having a degree of control on young people and older people that would put people out onto the streets and unionists don't? Or what is going on?
Look, having views on immigration, regardless of what they are, some people think that our immigration policy is too tight and that should be more liberal and we should be letting more people come here and make a new life for themselves. Others think that it's too liberal and that we should be stopping people coming here. And they claim that we have open borders, which we don't. There's no country that I can think of has open borders. Everyone has an immigration policy. Having a view on government immigration policy is a perfectly valid thing, and that people should be able to articulate that, as long as they're articulating in a way which is not inciting violence against others. And your politicians and the government are the people who make those policies. So they're the people that you lobby, not by burning the shop of a hard-working man.
But how come it's not happening in nationalist areas? That's my question.
I would say the reason why it's not happening is a lot of this is linked to the past links that some of those aspects of loyalism, including people who are linked to loyalist paramilitaries, have had in the past with the National Front, with Combat 18, and more recently with the EDL. And also they are banned into, they probably find themselves more affiliated with that brand of British nationalism, that Tommy Robinson brand of British nationalism that holds extremely far-right racist views, and that is something that has permeated down. And it's done through social media, and that is the misinformation that's spread on social media. I don't think that nationalists have. There's people I speak to and from a nationalist community who would have views, and a lot of that's to do with housing infrastructure and hospital places and school places and all of that, but they don't blame the people who are there taking up those spaces. That's a government issue.
Exactly. Well said, Alison. Hitting the nail right on the head. Almost 100% perfect. Because she mentioned British nationalism. No, it's more precise than that. It's English nationalism. Because we're not seeing this happen in Wales. We're not seeing it happening in Scotland. Because it's about English nationalism. This is the driving force behind these riots. See, some people will turn up because they've been convinced by the likes of Nigel Farage and others online about, well, we need to combat illegal migration or whatever. But the ones organising these attacks, the ones who are organising these events on social media, they are English nationalists. Let's call them what they are. Call a spade, English nationalists. Now, as I said, this is not happening in Wales because English nationalism doesn't have a foothold there. It's not happening in Scotland because English nationalism doesn't have a foothold there. There are extremist groups like Rangers fans or whoever who are anti-immigration, but they haven't reached a stage where they're rioting. Maybe this will change in the future, hopefully not. But in Northern Ireland, Stephen asked the perfect question. Why is one section of society rioting and the other not? Because one section, the nationalist community, don't see immigrants as a problem. But the loyalist section of society, the more extreme unionists, have links to the EDL, the National Front, English nationalist organisations in England who are anti-immigrant. So of course you're going to see the similar types of rioting take place in Northern Ireland because the loyalists want to cause trouble. We've seen it on a number of occasions. So when Farage or Tommy Robinson or somebody who's within the English nationalist organisations or groups starts talking, loyalists in Northern Ireland sit up and listen. So once again, journalists need to be asked this question, or they need to be asking the question, why are these riots at the moment limited to just England? If they are based on a concern about the NHS, housing, stuff like that, why are the riots not taking place in Scotland and Wales? If it's truly about the impact immigration is having. Because immigration is impacting, if it's truly this as the reason, it's impacting Wales and Scotland just like England. But we're not seeing the rioting. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.